heute Nacht nicht schlafen kann, glaube ich.
Ich auch nicht.
Was, wenn wir nicht gut genug sind?
Wenn nicht wir, wer dann?
Ich bin Virginia, Ihre Gutachterin. In den nächsten 7 Tagen werde ich Sie beobachten und einigen Tests unterziehen, um Ihre Eignung zur Elternschaft zu beurteilen. Ich möchte Sie kennenlernen, so wie Sie sind.
Ob das wirklich so gut ist?
Ja.
Hi, Alicia. Lovely to meet you. It was a lot of reasons why I wanted to take on this film and character. I read the script. It's one of the few times when I kind of read a script a bit like it was a book. It was a page turner. I was kind of intrigued. I did not know where this story was heading or what these characters were up to. And in that sense, you know, the character of Virginia that I play, she very much was like a mystery to me. And she has this kind of different sides to her that unravels throughout the story. And obviously as an actor, I found that that would be a real kind of challenge and also an exciting thing to try and take on, to try and portray. So it's a mix of the kind of special aspects of this character alongside Fleur Fortuné, who's the director of the film. I had, you know, seen all of her music videos and her short films, and she has a very distinct visual language. And then after also speaking with her, I found her extremely impressive, and she knew exactly the film she had in her head, and that made me really want to be part of it. For me, I want to step into cinemas and I want to step into a story and kind of have it realized. And then if I end up walking out of the film feeling like it's something that stays with me, something that I think about, something that makes me maybe reflect upon how our world looks today, then that's great, but it's also not a must. I mean, we clearly are setting this film in a future which, you know, potentially could, you know, not be too far off in the sense that we're already not taking care of our Mother Earth, you know, well enough at this moment. And for these characters, they've reached a point where most of the Earth is uninhabitable, and that's why the government has put pretty strict rules regarding who can have a child or not. I knew that there was all these kind of sides to this character. It's almost like roles within a role that she takes on. Between Fleur and I, we send everything from inspiration, images, to art, to like physical transformations of people. And obviously at the heart of this film, it's a theme of like wanting to have children. And I did get a lot of inspiration from children in the world, also from, you know, I have 2 young children myself. I had one at this point when I made the film. The other one was in my stomach during the filming, which was a kind of interesting aspect to it too. But what I think I realized was mostly that I found like a connection to, you know, unconsciously I have these kind of muscle memories of the younger version of myself that I've been, and that it was a revelation of finding myself not being too far away from that, and that I had my kind of inner child kind of bubbling up to the surface. You know, it's very interesting to see. I kind of love watching other actors and realize how different, you know, approach you can have towards your work and how you prep. And for me, I'm very much the person who go in on set and I'm like not in the role, because I kind of need to get energized by not being in it all the time, because when I do, it kind of overwhelms me. And it's, you know, it can be, especially for this role, there were some intense scenes, but when you've finally done them, I need to kind of go home and just go back to, you know, my other life and my friends and my family. She does what most really good directors do. You know, they trust their actors and have picked them for very obvious, clear reasons to themselves to be part of their vision. And then when I came on set, alongside with a lot of the conversations and discussions we had for weeks, she kind of created a space in a room where I got to experiment and try things out. She sometimes gave me little notes, inputs, but mostly she facilitated of creating a space where I could, find this role. I was a big fan of both of them and their work before we started this film. And then on independent films, it's hard to find the time to have, a large amount of rehearsals, but we did have a lot of Zooms and a lot of conversations, and I think it was important for us to try and get to know each other as much as possible, because the film is almost like a chambre piece. It's practically these three people in a house for most of the film. I hope that I don't know how people are going to react, because if people have their very own personal reaction to it, that's great. I've been to a few screenings of this film now, and when you have someone having a very kind of personal reaction to it, that they see something else in the film that no one else did, and then that means that the film has really kind of done its job.
Du hast schlecht geträumt, glaube ich. Halt mich, ich hab Angst. Das ist Wahnsinn.
Test beendet.